today. I hope y'all don't mind. I'm eating my lunch. It's a very unhealthy fried egg sandwich with some sliced bologna and mayonnaise on a hamburger bun. We've been a sick house the last couple of days. If y'all haven't noticed, I ain't been posting much. We've been kind of sick. Poor Lakey's got the worst of it though, and so she's been down for a few days. And last night was a bad night, and we didn't hardly get any sleep. And so we didn't get up until about 9 o'clock. But we're still hanging on. Is what we're doing. But I'm gonna eat me this sandwich because I haven't had really anything to eat the last couple of days. We had vegetable soup last night, and it was really, really good, but the entire day yesterday, I think, what did I eat yesterday? Not much. Yeah. Yeah, I've been like piling on the, all the stuff. She's been drinking some goldenrod tea, and I've just had bad congestion, as you can hear. Nothing like she has. I've been doing great compared to her, but she ain't been taking it very well. Okay. Hi, Ty. Yeah, we've done the chicken noodle soup. We've done the vegetable soup. We've been pushing the bone broth and the goldenrod tea, and we're trying. We had bone broth with some shredded chicken and rice soup yesterday, and I thought, she's not a big rice eater, and I thought, well, she's not going to like that. But she ate it. She ate the rice. Today she's having a hard time holding anything down, though. She's just not feeling good. Now, she did eat a little bit. She had kept her appetite up until this morning, but she's lost her appetite now, so she had a little bit of vegetable soup. I heated it up for her this morning, just a little bit ago, to kind of help her along. She wouldn't eat no breakfast, and I don't know, I guess it's just a mom thing. I know, thank you. I'm getting close to 1,000. I'm getting close. We're getting super close. I feel like I'm coming up on my year. So January 24th, well, actually January 25th is going to be the 365-day mark, and I'm coming up right up on my year, and I've almost met my subscribers, but I haven't met my time yet, and so I'm nervous. Well, headache, or symptoms have been headache and congestion. I've been congested. She's had a really bad runny nose, and she's been running a fever. Well, my husband has been feeling fine, and so I stay home with Miss Lakey when she's not feeling good. There she is, bless her heart. I stay home with Miss Lakey when she's not feeling good, and my poor husband has been doing all the chores by himself. So that's what happens. Now, when we're both sick, we just press on and do everything together. When COVID and stuff was going around, the dreaded sickness, evil sickness, when we all had it, we just did the chores together, even though we were feeling bad. But my sweet husband has volunteered to do the chores this week. That way I could stay home with her. I really don't want to get her out in the weather, because as you can see, she's not she's not feeling good. She's been sick probably going on maybe close to a week, haven't you? About 5 days. And so we haven't left the house in days. And so
I miss my animals.
yeah, well, and Andy keeps saying, he says the bunnies are just hopping all out of their cage. And next week, I think it's next week, or after this week, I have to wean them. And so I'm going to have to get out there soon. So we might have to do a little switching up. But right now, he's doing all the animal tours. But I think it's just cold. I think we just have cold. We've had the rain. We had the rain, and I think we just got wet and cold at the same time. Yeah, we all miss the animals, especially, well, me and her miss the animals. And poor Andy's having to spend hours doing tours.
Yeah, he left here at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we've done the Vic. We've got that running. We've got the rub. We've got the humidifier going. What all we've done? Bless her heart. She's just looking bad. What you eating? I'm eating a fried bologna, fried egg with mayonnaise on a hamburger bun. This is the lunch of champions.
Yeah.
I said in the beginning, it's probably the most unhealthy thing ever. It's one of my favorites, though.
And I had me a healthy, real healthy. Vegetable soup and
Yeah. She ate vegetable soup. We didn't even have breakfast because we stayed up all night, pretty much.
yeah.
We were up all night. She had a bad night last night, and I love fried bologna. Yeah, we go to the little store in Preston, Chastity, and they cut bologna about that thick. You can get it however thick you want it, and this time we got it about that thick, and so it's really good fried. And, what you been up to?
And now on the computer, watching that video.
Oh, you trying to sit on Mommy's lap? We'll sit on it. Look at her little red nose. Bless her heart. Right. But anyways, how you all doing? Are y'all staying good and warm in this cold spell we've got? Ollie's trying to talk too. He's trying to get into the conversation.
Oh, what are we talking about?
But guys, we're getting close on selling the rabbits. They are going to be gone. Let's see, 2 more weeks. Yeah, she's got a little bit of a fever. She's been running. She had been running just a low-grade fever. So much so that I have a really junky thermometer. I've had it for years. I don't know why I don't go get a new one. But it wouldn't even read it, but I could tell by looking at her she had a fever, obviously. And so it was really... Eating takeout? You mean you can't cook? It's funny because, yeah, he's being awful about that.
I always tell y'all need to cook.
But anyways, last night, I'm going from subject to subject. She had a fever last night, and that's what kept us up. She was really, really restless and just having a hard time being able to breathe. She'd wake up and she'd just have a lot of nasal runnage and things.
Yeah, I woke up and went back there. Mommy was like, "Mom, baby, you can't be able to sleep."
Yeah, Mommy slept in her bed last night.
And we were up 24/7. I did all.
I know. I feel like we were probably up every hour to 2 hours.
I felt like I didn't get a drop of sleep last night.
Yeah, we didn't get much sleep. Your wife is away, the house is a mess, and you have to get takeout. My goodness. I tell you what, my sweet husband, he can cook, but there's been times like when I worked as a photographer and I would be gone all day because that's an all day job. I was a wedding photographer, and I would come in and the house would be a disaster, wouldn't it? And she had snacked all day, and he can cook, but he just I don't know.
Yeah, but it will drop Mommy off at a place I'll just be and just like falling asleep. Or I'll be hungry. Here I am trying to figure out how to make some.
Yeah, he hasn't been. I haven't had to go on no job in a while because I quit wedding photography, or retired, I guess you should say.
Retired.
I'm a retired wedding photographer. Let me see what Tash said here. I hear Oliver doing okay. Nevaeh is on antibiotics again, ear infection, and Marston has. Well, it sounds like you're in a mess like we are. You're gonna have to learn how to cook, bud. He don't even barbecue. He don't even go out on the grill or nothing. Wow.
You know how to make scrambled eggs?
I tell you what, my father-in-law. Hold on, I'm knocking the thing down. My father-in-law doesn't know how to cook either. So, and my mother-in-law is a nurse and she works night shift. And so on the nights that she works night shift, he just eats baked potato. He just pops a baked potato in the microwave and he calls that supper.
I ain't y'all knows how to cook. But I like you.
Yeah, she does not know how to cook. She didn't get a drop of sleep. Yeah, she's adorable. Let me see. Hello. I said I'll starve first. You could be like my father-in-law and just make a baked potato.
Or make scrambled eggs.
Or scrambled eggs. She said, now I know you can do a little bit of something because I've seen on your video. You got fire cooking skills, don't you? Or do you just make coffee on the fire and hot cocoa on the fire?
All you gotta do is crack your egg, whisk it with a fork, then pour it in the pan and take your pan and go like that. I have a scrambled egg video you do watch.
She has a scrambled egg video, Arlo. So, you can watch how she makes scrambled eggs. She shows you step by step. Funny part about that video, though. What's the funny part about that video? What do we have to edit out?
Someone posted the video not realize that I accidentally caught a towel on fire.
She caught a towel on fire. We cook with natural gas, and so while she was doing her egg video, I edited it out. I accidentally first posted the wrong video, and so everybody's seen it.
14 people see that.
But she caught a towel on fire.
Oh no, I have to repost.
He said you can come cook for them. You gonna go to Nova Scotia and go cook for them?
That's a little ways.
She said that's a little ways away. She can cook though now. She likes cooking. Which is funny because I hated cooking. I mean hated it, despised it. And when me and my husband got married, bless his heart, I didn't know how to cook. He did, and so he cooked most of our meals. And then through the years, he's taught me different stuff, and I've finally learned how to cook in the last few years. The bloopers or something. That would be amazing if Marshall come down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's
Come and do the farm. She said it'd be fun. Y'all don't mind that I don't have cabinets up here because this is one of the many projects we started and haven't finished. The cabinets are painted. I'm just going to go ahead. I've clarified it in other videos, but if you don't know, we've been without cabinet doors. You love my canning videos, yeah. Usually Pipsqueak's here helping me, ain't she, in my canning videos. She likes being in the kitchen. But we started the kitchen cabinets and haven't finished them. Oh, that would be so fun. I'm excited for that. I haven't even told her about it.
What?
Did you know that we were planning to do a live with him?
No, nobody told me.
Mm-hmm.
I never know nothing.
Thank you, Tyus. You've been in my kitchen. I wouldn't say it's cute, but I would say it's unfinished.
It's durable.
It's durable?
Uh-huh. My mom let me have this cup. This is her favorite cup.
That's my favorite cup. If you haven't noticed, guys, we drink out of mason jars here. I don't have glasses. That, if you see that, that's our coffee cup. And then down here is our drinking cup. Let me see if I can get my finger wrong. Right here. That's our drinking cup. And all of it is mason jars. And then over here is our plastic. Watch your head. Over here is our plastic cup. I'm going to give you a tour of my kitchen cabinet. Like you've got it right. I can't get it. Okay. Right here are our plastic cups that we just use for scoops and stuff. Like scoops of dog food. Or like travel cups. Ain't it?
And there's our plates.
Most of those are antique. I have a couple Pioneer Woman plates. How are you doing it and I'm not?
I'm just holding my phone.
These white plates here you see a lot in my videos are antique. They were my husband's grandmother's.
Hey, y'all wanna know some more than plates out of you remember?
I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about.
I have a plate. It's from the same place that one of my friends is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she has a friend that was adopted from Russia, and so we have plates that are from Russia. So okay, let's see. You're fine. I love her vocabulary. You're like me. I do the same thing. I say jars, sausage. I do. I think it's engraved in us, Cassidy. I feel like we're like the waste not, want not people. I think it's an Appalachian thing, really. I really think that's what it boils down to, that we keep everything. Okay, let's see. Love mason jars. We have old ball jars from the 20s. The glass is blue. Let me show you. I gotta show you. I've got one, and I've got the lid.
We're antique collectors, so we collect all of them.
Right here. Here's my ball mason jar. I don't know what it's from. You might be able to tell me. But can you see it? There we go. I don't know if that made it any better. That didn't make it any better, never mind. Okay. Here it is. With my lid. In our area, when you go down to the creeks, a lot of times you find these. Not necessarily the lids. Sometimes you do, but a lot of times you find these. But we are antiquers. You do? This is up on my kitchen shelf, but this is the only one I have. This is the only blue mason jar I have. I've probably got some older mason jars, but nothing like this. But we collect, we're antiquers. One day maybe I'll do a tour about it.
Hey, y'all speaking of our stuff at first, I found this in our freezer.
Yeah, we found this piece of an old plate, I believe. It's old. I found like some big nails in that crease. I told you, I feel like our families have so much in common. We're like from two different worlds that have so much in common. Yeah, I don't know, I can't really point nothing out. We have this antique, spice thing in here. This is an antique pitcher that I keep my utensils in. This right here is one of them chef things. He is vintage. We got that in an auction. That was my husband's grandmother. We've got a vintage pitcher here. Let me see what else. And then I collect vintage and antique cookie jars. Get out of the way, Lucy, so they can see. Can you see the cookie jars back there? There's the goose and the hippo, and then I have, y'all probably won't be able to see it there. On the microwave, I have a Humpty Dumpty and a little old lady who lived in the shoe. I'll show you that one because that's my favorite.
We have a whole China cabinet full.
Here she is. Isn't it beautiful? But me and my husband love to antique. We've completely filled our house. We actually don't have no more room for antiques. And so we'll just have to buy a bigger house. I know. I love it. And I can't remember. I got it for a really good deal. And so, but I fell in love with it. And so I have the nursery rhymes. I have Mother Goose. I have Humpty Dumpty. And I have the little old lady who lives in the shoes. You want to pick it up for Mama? Are you showing them something?
I love bubblegum.
And she's got bubblegum and the little old lady who lives in the shoes. But yeah, we are antiquers. My husband collects, if you've ever seen, we collect very old bottles. See, that's something we haven't got into. Now we collect, I don't know if you've heard of it, some people have. If you're a collector, you probably have. Can you get it up there?
Yeah.
She's getting a little nervous trying to put it up. Give me just a second. Let me see. We used to have so much junk. We went yeah, we have a lot. I wouldn't call it junk because we have carefully picked out. You guys remind me of Lottie. You've been in my house, Chastity. You've seen a lot of it. We've carefully picked out each one of our pieces. And so we're very intentional about the pieces we pick out. We don't just buy pieces, but we also have a lot. I'll show you. This is what I was talking about. We collect uranium glass. This is a uranium glass vase. It's dusty. Don't mind the dust. It needs cleaned on the inside. It's dusty. But this is uranium glass. We collect uranium glass. I collect vintage. She's getting ready to show you. This is salt and pepper shakers.
We had two old fans made.
I have two shelves of salt and pepper shakers. I collect vintage salt and pepper shakers. Ones that are, most of them are from before the World War, are from Japan. I also collect, we also collect hurricane lamps and lanterns, and Vaseline glass, uranium glass.
And I collect marbles.
Yeah, you have to get picky because then you're like, you get all, in the beginning you get all excited and you want to get all the pieces, and then you're like, hold on, wait. You have some milk glass. My mother collected milk glass. I love antique furniture. I have some antique furniture pieces, not much, but I do have a rocker. I have two rockers that are antique. The table you all are sitting on right now is antique. It's about 80 years old, maybe a little older. Actually, it's probably over 80 years old. We bought it from a man that my husband worked for, and it was his childhood table. And so he grew up with this table in his home, and he's 80 years old. So his parents presumably had it before he was born, and so the table is 80 years old, and then we had a little desk that goes with it. Can y'all see it? I'm sorry, the lighting's horrible. It's a little shelf that matches the table. It's antique as well. But my entire house is full of antiques. I love antiques. I don't have many modern things in my home. Besides, like, you know, the refrigerator and things like that. Even my stove is old. I don't actually know how old it is, but it's very old. It's not antique, but it's vintage, definitely.
And I collect marbles and slides.
Yep. She collects antique marbles, don't you? uranium glass marbles specifically, but marbles in general. If you don't know much about the uranium glass, they have uranium in them and they glow green under blue light. Let me see. We also have, you're talking about antique furniture. We have a beautiful, 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 beautiful lamp that we got for an amazing deal. There's some of them that we got for an amazing deal a few years ago. The man that sold us this table and that, it's not a kitchenette, but that's what I want to call it. I can't think of what it's called. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we have a china cabinet that was my husband's grandmother's that we bought in an auction, and it is very old. Yeah, it glows under black light. It was very old, and we have stuffed it full, and then every nook and cranny in my home is covered almost in something antique. We enjoy it, and I'd rather have, I don't know, like you can have your modern tidy homes, and sometimes I think why is my style not modern and tidy and minimalist when I'm cleaning all the stuff? But I love every piece that's in this house, and so I love every piece, and we have picked up most of these pieces. We have picked out and paid quite a bit of money for. Some of these pieces are high, and I don't say that to brag, but I say that because we really, really love the pieces that we have. Now, some things we got, amazing deals on, and we haven't filled our house full of all kinds of expensive things. But if I'm going to buy something expensive, a piece of furniture or something, I would rather it be something that has character to it instead of that old, bland, gray, white that's going on. You can remember picking up every... I know, you can. Like, she's bringing this. She's bringing all our antiques. So if you are an Appalachian, you probably know what this is. This is a coal mining lamp. My husband collects coal mining lamps and hats. We've got hats and we've got a bunch of these lamps, but they hook on the hat, and they got coal in them, and you light it, and that's a coal. He's got a few of those, but I let my sandwich get cold, guys. It's not even good anymore. It's cold. I'm gonna put it like this. Coal lamp, yep. We have a few of those. Place back in the day, yeah. Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know that. See, in Appalachia, if you know anything about Appalachia or anything about Kentucky that, or America in general, that there's a fight between coal and this is a piggy bank. She's showing us a brass piggy bank.
Heavy duty too.
It is heavy duty. There is a fight between in the Appalachia region, especially because that's all most of the people know, especially up in the mountainous areas. That's the only jobs there are. And there's been kind of a war against coal, and some people agree with it, some people don't. But a lot of people that we know, especially older folks, worked in the coal mine their whole entire life. And in these areas, that's one of the major incomes, and that was people's way of life, and it got taken from them. But anyways, I'm not going to get into all that. That's more of a political thing, and I'm definitely not going to do that. But anyways, that's why the coal oil lamps are so important to us, as it's a part of our heritage and our culture and a part of our history. And so that's why they're really important to us. But like you said, we know every single piece, and it's very neat to like hand what do you call it? Procure each and every piece. Just hand pick those pieces and love them, and bring them into your home, and just find a little spot for them to sit. And so we have a lot of dusting that goes on in this house. We have to dust quite frequently, but it's worth it. Sometimes I think, is it worth it? But then I think, yes, I love all of these pieces. It's worth it. Let me see. That's what makes you, you. I throw whatever I get together and make it. That is. I like modern farmhouse look, though. Yeah. Yeah, it's show and tell. She keeps bringing pieces in. I know, we're gonna have so much to talk about. That's why when I emailed you, I was like, I don't know, our families are so common. We have so much in common. What are you doing, Boogerback? We've got so much in common. But, anyways, we got to talk about it. Oh, I was telling you all, and I keep forgetting, we have this beautiful, and maybe one day I'll show you guys. It probably stands about 4 foot tall. It's called a piano lamp. Y'all look it up. It's absolutely beautiful, the style of these lamps. They're called a piano lamp. And we happen... When is it going to happen? When are we going to do the live? Is that what you're talking about? Or the lamp? The lamp or the live? Y'all tell me. When the man that sold us this table and that kitchenette that I keep calling it, the live, we haven't scheduled it yet, guys. I've been procrastinating. I was going to get on it this week, but with her being sick and me not feeling too great, we haven't got to it. Hopefully, maybe next week, if Arlo can get us, can manage it next week, maybe we can get something going next week. But yeah, it's Lord's willing, it'll be soon. But we've had some minor setbacks this week. But we are yes, we need to get healthy again, don't we? Oh, Bubblegum Betsy. She's always got bubblegum in her mouth.
I went 5 days without it, and I made it horrible.
I don't buy bubblegum. But who buys it?
My mama.
Mama buys her bubblegum and keeps her in stock. She keeps a jar about that tall full of bubblegum.
It was a dog treat holding the box of bubblegum holder. And then in her antique cabinet, she has an antique cabinet. What's it called? A fuser?
Yes, she has a fuser in her kitchen. Is that what you're talking about?
And then in that drawer, she has like a little pot runs out. She has her bags ready for this.
Yeah. But yeah, she's a bubblegum chewer.
If y'all ever want to send me anything, send bubblegum.
But anyways, so yeah, my mom is she's full of her. She's the only grandchild on my husband's side, and she's only one of 3 on the other side, and so they're full. All of our, me and my sister are the ones that have children, and she has 2 and I have 1, and they are extremely spoiled, rotten, get about everything they want.
And my birthday party, she bought a whole new rug.
Yeah. She's so cute, yeah, her talking and singing. You know what? I try to think back of what age she was, and I thought I wrote it down in her baby book. But she was 2, I think. Were you 2?
Yeah, you said it's been 2 years.
I think she was 2 years old when she first blew her first bubble. So she's been chewing bubblegum that long. Ain't that awful?
Awful.
Yeah. She's had bubblegum for a really long time. She loves it. No. And so my mom keeps her aside. The reason why I don't keep swallowed it too. No, she blew bubbles it too. She never did swallow gum. We don't let Marshall chew gum. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. I don't know who gave her her first piece of gum. 2 sounds really, really young and sounds really dangerous. And now when I look back, I think I probably shouldn't have let her. I probably shouldn't have let her chew gum at 2. But she never did swallow it. Did you? She never did. She never choked on it. It was probably dangerous actually. It might have been a little neglectful on my part.
Hey y'all, I one time I fell asleep with some there and I didn't swallow it. Did you?
Oh, Marshall's a character though. Yeah, some kids will swallow it. They'll chew it up and then I'm trying to think of who gave her her first bubble gum. I remember though.
It might have been Daddy.
I can't.
Papa?
No. It was, we were coming back from church. I remember the time she blew the bubbles. She was about 2 years old. And we were coming back from church. So somebody at church gave her bubble gum, is what I'm thinking. And then she figured out how to blow a bubble.
I tried to teach other kids how to do it, but they're like, I don't know.
But she's been a bubble gum chewer.
I've got so
Which
big.
made her qualified to chew the gum. I will say that.
Don't
My grandkids swallow it or put it somewhere for me to find later. Yeah. No, we don't do that. That's why I don't buy bubble gum because I've had a lot of gum put into the washer and then the dryer. And it's not just been her, it's been her daddy too.
Yeah.
And so Mama provides the gum and I don't say anything, but I don't buy gum because I feel like I'll be enabling the bubble gum to be put in the dryer. What's your favorite bubble gum?
This is the kind I chew a lot.
She likes the double bubble. Right? What is this? Yeah. The American. Let me see. It's the double bubble. Why did I think it was Hubba Bubba?
This is like the ride chewed off of it, but
We don't know the name. This is the Hubba Bubba, where it's in the. She chews that too, but she don't get that as much as she gets this. This is what her mama buys. It's the double bubble. You know what? It's funny because she is such a gum chewer, but I don't like it. I don't like it. There's certain, like I can chew like the Trident. I hate the double bubble or the Hubba Bubba. I feel like it just goes out of flavor so fast and gets like mushy, and I don't like that. That's the best time for making bubbles. Yeah. And as you see, she's got that down pat. Oh my goodness. She's had them as big as her head.
And I usually smacks them and pops them out and I got a mess on my face.
Yeah. But that's always been her little thing is the bubble gum. My kids love them too, especially Marklin. But Camden likes to play with it. He's over. She plays with it too a million times a day. I tell her to keep her gum in her mouth. Because she'll pull it, don't you? Nah. But,
Yeah, that's how it is.
and so I had to get on to her and tell her to keep it in her mouth. But my main issue, I guess, with the bubble gum is just having to scrape it out of my dryer.
I wonder if he's been putting better gum in my pocket.
She said one piece don't make it that big. You need you need two. Oh my goodness. See, my husband, does he do two? Does Daddy do two?
One.
He does one.
My mom.
There's some brand of gum he does though that's two. I can't remember what it is, but there's a certain brand that he does and he puts two in. But I like just small pieces of gum. I don't like a big wad of that. See, that's too much. I would have to chop that in half in order for me to eat it. I don't like the bubble gum.
I don't know what happened, y'all, but this gum, it was pink and then that.
Yeah. Hope you feel better soon. My son got back to the U.S. yesterday. Oh, thank God. I'm so happy for you. That's amazing. I'm so glad that he's made it back to the U.S. I'm assuming he's safe. I'm assuming that's what you mean, and I thank God for that. That's a major blessing. That's an extreme blessing that he made it back, and I know a lot of people have lost a lot of loved ones, and so I thank the Lord for that. That's amazing. Isn't that amazing that he made it back? Yeah. That's a blessing from the Lord. He answered our prayers, didn't he? We've been praying for him, and I thank God that he made it back. Made it back to you all. It's amazing. Ain't it? That's great news, man. That makes me so happy. I thank God for that. That makes me happy. I've been praying for him to make it back safe. Thank the Lord. Wow. That's great. That's great. I can't remember. Oh, we were talking about the bubble gum. It used to be pink, but now when you chew it, it turns white.
But now it's turning back pink.
I think it depends on what kind. Some packs come out white, some packs come out pink. I don't know.
Unless I just had a spray and they made it white.
They might have tried to. It really is. She said it was a. She said, "Thank you for your prayers. It is indeed a great blessing." I don't understand. I think they just dipped us on some coloring and some of the paint.
Y'all gonna have to get on there and watch how bubblegum's made, because I love watching. So they have like that big machine that twists it. I feel like I could just.
I think they put rubber in gum, ain't it? Do they put rubber in gum? There's some type of like. If you've ever watched a video of how bubblegum's made, it's actually like, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they put rubber in it. That's what makes it chewy. Is that what it is?
I feel
You
like.
Can't remember?
Yeah, but I feel like if I was working there, I'd open that up and take a big bite.
Yeah. You think so?
Or just take a 5-pound bucket and fill it up and take it home.
Well, the bubblegum factories are not going to be allowed to hire you there, are they? Don't hire her. She said she'd take a bite out of the bubblegum.
Or fill up a 5-pound bucket, put the lid on it, and take it home.
So that would be stealing. You can't do that. Maybe they would allow you to do that, though. Can't steal. She said, oh.
Okay. Well, maybe I just take one of these and fill it up.
Well, that'd still be stealing. It doesn't matter the amount.
Well,
You'd have to ask first. You'd have to say, can I take this bubble gum? And then they'd say yes or no.
Or I could just fill up the whole truck bed full of bubble gum.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun. Make it.
Why don't you go blow your nose, Sissy? Go blow it. Yeah, she might not be the best employee at a bubblegum factory, guys. Oh, my nose is itching. It was itching on the outside. Man, we've talked about everything under the sun, it feels like. Well, I feel like I keep getting distracted. We'll be talking about something and we keep getting distracted. I was talking to y'all about the bunnies. And so, let me see. I have a home for all of them but 3 bucks. So guys, we went and it's a little bit early on the gender, but I went ahead and called it anyways. They're 5 weeks, they're going to be 5 weeks this week. Usually I don't like to call gender for 100% positive until 6 weeks old, but it seems like these rabbits are just, I don't know if it's where I have more experience now that this has been, that we've done this for a couple years. But at 4 weeks, I checked them. They were almost close to 5 weeks. They're 5 weeks this week. But I checked them, and it looked like we got most of them were boys. I can't remember how many girls we had. It wasn't.
I think it was like 3.
It was like, I think it was 5. So out of 15 baby rabbits, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we got 5 girls. That's it. So we let me see. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it was 4 or 5. Yes, we did do our Christmas decorating in the house. outside, I still have pumpkins and scarecrows. It's December.
And we have to get our tree, y'all.
Well, females typically are going to be more desirable because they can have babies. But that being said, I would have had all the rabbits sold if two of the three males would have been females, because I had a couple people that were wanting pairs. And where I didn't have enough for the pairs, one of the people that wanted a male and female pair, they took two males instead of a female, because we didn't have no females. And then another man, he just decided to get a male instead of a female. But I had talked to another homesteader on here about rabbits, and about, yes, they are meat rabbits. And so what we're going to do with the three males, hopefully, if nobody gets attached, because we've had a situation where we couldn't, in one of the last litters, we couldn't put a rabbit in the freezer because somebody got attached. I'm not gonna, I said I wasn't gonna say his name. I am gonna say his name. His name was Andy, and he got attached, and we had to sell the buck because he wouldn't eat it.
He wouldn't kill it.
He said it was a pet now. We had it too long.
No, that was
We did have him for a long time. So what happened was, he was going to be a meat rabbit. Okay, so I've said this in videos, but I'll lay it down here. I'll explain it. So we got rabbits, let me see, 3 years ago. And when we got rabbits, we got two females. They were meat rabbits. They were Flemish Giants. One of them was like a meat cross. She had Flemish Giant in her, I think. And we were just going to have pet rabbits. We were going to have two female pet rabbits. Well, one of the females passed away. Well, we had to put her down. She had got something going on. I don't know. She had something going on. So, long story, I'm trying to keep the story short. Okay, so we had a female pass away, and we decided then that we would get a male. Well, we waited until the fall of that year. She probably died in the spring. We waited till the fall of that year to get a male, mainly because we wanted to do it, but we weren't sure. And when we got the Flemish Giants, I told Andy if later on we decided to get a buck to breed the females to, that we could have, it would be a meat source. That, you know, there would be a protein, a meat source on the homestead. And this is before we really got into thinking about raising our own meat, kind of. We had discussed it, but this is one of the very first steps that we really got to thinking about having other meat sources besides chicken on the farm. We had talked about hogs, we had talked about cows. We had cows on the farm, but we sold them, we didn't raise them for meat, we raised them for profit. And so, anyways, the rabbits were going to be a meat source. Well, I put the female and male together, obviously, and they had babies. Well, the first litter didn't turn out good. It was all stillbirths besides one. And so I had to wait for her to recover. I bred her again. She had her very first litter. I sold every single rabbit in that litter. And my intentions with the rabbits are to raise some meat, if it comes down to it, and we just have to raise them solely for meat and not for profit as well, then that's great. But to have a profitable animal along with a meat source. And so first litter sold. Second litter sold. Third litter, which is this one, is I just had the two males from the original female we had, and then Pipsqueak, she had her babies. Now I kept a couple rabbits back from the second litter that she had because I wanted to have some breeding stock. and one of those was pipsqueak. And then the third litter I kept a couple back, and then the rest sold. And I wanted to have them for breeding stock. I've done sold my original male. Yes. Where do we advertise them? I on the local Facebook trading post. We also have a local radio station that you can call in and advertise animals for sale. And so I've sold animals both ways. But you'll be doing rabbit hunting soon. That's a funny story because we are actually looking into getting. Do you hunt rabbit locally? I haven't hunted rabbit locally. I have not. Now my husband has, but I have not. But we're looking into getting a Walker coon. And so Lord's willing, maybe soon we'll start coon hunting and rabbit hunting and squirrel hunting with a dog, and that's super exciting. That's how my husband was raised doing that, and so we're getting back to his roots. And so possibly, maybe we might be getting a good hunting dog here soon. We're looking into it. We're being kind of picky, and so, but we're looking into doing it. So maybe here soon we might be having some good hunting going on with the dogs, and so that's super exciting. But we raise the rabbits, first of all for profit, second of all for meat. The second source is for meat. Yeah, hopefully videos, but I don't want to say anything I don't want to say absolutely it's set in stone that that's what we're going to do. We've talked about it, we've looked into it, but right now we haven't got a dog yet, so we'll just see. But it's definitely possible that will happen. My husband's wanting a Walker dog. I'm wanting a Mountain Fife or a Beagle. Something smaller. Some interesting footage that would be, yeah. It would be fun. It's just primarily we're doing it just to have something to do as a family. Farming pretty much is the main center point of things that we do as a family. Everything we do revolves around the animals. Yes. Well, yes and no. It's not because you're talking about like people coming in and looking for homestead properties. It's not the outside people per se. In our area, we have a lot of Amish. And if you know anything about Amish, which I'm assuming most of you do, they buy large areas of land and I'm going to try to say it as nicely as possible. They buy large areas of land and they overhunt the large areas of land. And so we do have places to hunt. We have connections with different farmers that we can hunt, large areas that we can hunt. One good thing about it is we live in a large rural area. We live in a mountainous area, and so typically in our area, you can just farm like the flatland areas. We live in a lot of slate rock and clay, and so if you're farming for crop or you're farming for livestock, usually it's going to be in those flatland areas that are not got a lot of slate rock or rock in them. And so we'll be able to hunt like the mountainous areas on different farmlands. There is places that we can hunt, but there's certain animals, like we were talking about hunting deer and things like that. There's not a lot of deer in our area anymore, unfortunately. There used to be a lot. You used to see deer um, very frequently. You would look out in a field in the middle of the night, and you would see just a whole field. I remember when me and my husband were dating, we drove through an area, and it was all bucks. And I'm not exaggerating by any means, but it was like 20 or 30 bucks in one area. But that area now has like an Amish community, and you don't see deer like you used to. And I don't want to. I don't want to like. I want to say it in a way that is not. I'm not trying to be mean about anybody's culture or anything like that. I don't want to talk bad about them as a whole, but in our area, they have very large families, and the laws in Kentucky are not as strict as what we feel like they should be. A couple people that we know have been trying to get legislature changed. That way, Amish families, they have like a family of 12, and so um, if if they have sons, primarily, the men are going to do the hunting. If they have sons, and let's say they have 10 sons, well, their 10 sons, where their sons have so many tags, and so they can fill this many tags, and so I think that's the main issue with the hunting in this area, especially the deer. Um, that we have a lack of it. But coon hunting, a lot of people don't do coon hunting like they used to, um, and um, and of course squirrel and rabbit and stuff is pretty rabbit not like it used to be, but definitely squirrel and coons are pretty easy to get a hold of around here because they're not hunted as much as much as rabbit and deer are. But like I said, one good thing about it is we live in a rural area. They don't they don't put not trespassing private property. Hopefully not. No. Well, farms that we would hunt are farms of people that we know, um, who my husband grew up with. A lot of times too in this area, I seen somebody advertising the other day in this area that people hire people to come in and to help with coon issues and things like that. So we'll see. But nothing's set in stone. It's something that we've just been talking about. Something that hopefully that we can get into. It might be a while before we're able to do it, but it would be really really fun to start doing as a family. It'd be something that I would enjoy, that Andy I know would enjoy, and that I know Lakin would enjoy as well. And so it'd be a great thing to get in to with the family. Let me see. I feel like I've missed some comments. Yes, Cassidy, we have put up 4 pumpkins on the front porch painted. LOL. What to do with this? We didn't paint ours, and so I've been meaning to take them to the chickens or the goats, but it ain't happened. And I answered your question about the does and the bucks. Primarily, does are going to be more sought after because they could have babies. But if somebody is wanting just a pet, um, honestly, in my opinion, not a buck rabbit is going to be more chill than a doe rabbit. It seems like my does that I have are more spastic acting. They're more in your face, more demanding of things. Not in a mean way. I mean, a buck rabbit can be just as mean as a doe rabbit, but it seems like they need more. Like I've got to put more entertainment in with the doe rabbits than I do the bucks. They have to have more toys to play with and more things to do. Um, and the buck rabbits are more chill, calm. Just lay around and sleep all day. They don't. Uh, they don't. They don't need as much uh, fuss over them as the doe rabbits do. But I do love I do love my spastic does. I've got some really sweet does. And so that's the difference between a buck and a doe, in my opinion. Some people might have a different experience, but that's from my experience. Yeah, Chastity, we're just looking for something else to do. When you have um, when you have something as demanding as a farm, um, and I think most people can understand it, that there's just not a lot we can just go out and do. I mean, we can go out and be out in the woods and stuff, and that's what we like doing. We like being out in nature, and I think that's why we like farming so much. We like animal husbandry, and there's nothing like I love to farm. I love it. I love most things about it. I was gonna say everything, but that would be a lie. I don't love everything about it, but I love most things about it. I love to do it. Um, it it just brings me joy. Um, but we don't get to go off on vacations like we would like to. We don't get to like if we leave sometime in the morning, we have to be back by a certain time, to get the animals fed, and so we spend a lot of time um, staying close by, and so I think that it would be something that we could enjoy together. That's outdoors like we like to be, but that it's doing something different than just it's still involving animals. Maybe we just can't get away from animals, but it's doing something different besides just like the same old, like the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because some things about farming can become really mundane, and some things like I feel like it. I feel like the farm changes every day, and I said that in a video the other day. I feel like so much has changed in just like such a short period of time. Like all of a sudden, we're moving from this to this to this to this. And I seen something the other day. It was like a homesteaders live, and they said talking about the slowdown, and they live in a more northern climate, and so they're getting cold, and probably they are slowing down, and of course we're getting cold, but it seems like we're we're so busy, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being busy. I like being busy, but I like having something to do. I should say, maybe not necessarily like busy, 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 but I do like having something to do. Um, but we um, we need something else, if you know what I mean. Like we need something else to do. Kind of balance out balance out the mundane tasks of that farming can be sometimes, that life can be. It's just a new hobby to add to enjoyment in life, and so hopefully that makes sense. That was a lot of talking just to say something so small. Those baby rabbits are adorable. I'd like to just cuddle one. Well, you all come over and you can cuddle one before they sell. I know. I like grab a hold of them and like rub them on my face, and I'm allergic to them. I don't know why I do that. I rub them all over my face, and then my nose itches after I'm done. My eyes water all the time. I feel like I'm slowly though. Have you ever heard of like people having like an allergy and they like introduce themselves to that allergy so much that like they just kind of get used to it? And so that's how I am with the rabbits. I mean, sometimes especially when they're shedding or I'm cleaning out cages, I mean, my nose gets a little bit itchy. But that's okay. I love them anyway. When do you start seeds for planting? We don't. We don't seed. That sounds crazy. But what we do, we have started seeds. We used to start seeds depending on what the plants were around March, but we don't start seeds. We have chosen to support our local greenhouses. Um, in our area, they grow. There's a few greenhouses that we support in our local areas, and they grow heirloom seeds. And one of them is an Amish greenhouse, and another one is a greenhouse that's been in our area for years and years and years and years and years. And so that's something we don't do. Now we have. We've done it in years past. There's some seeds that we start in the ground, like corn, green beans. Yeah, we do save seeds. We do. I know, it sounds counterintuitive. There's my seeds up there. It sounds counterintuitive to save seeds, but to not plant them. Primarily we save seeds like corn, green beans, things that need planted, not started, but planted in the ground. I do save seeds like watermelon, cantaloupe, butternut squash, your squashes and your pumpkins I save. I even save tomato seeds. Yeah, like direct sow. So if we do start something, we don't start it. We don't start it early. The plants that we plant early, the things that are in the ground early, are primarily the seeds that somebody else has grown. It sounds crazy. I mean, I'm probably nuts. People are probably like, you call yourself a homesteader and you don't plant your own seeds, but I don't. And that's something that we've just chosen to do. Not to say that we won't. Maybe in the coming months we will. Who knows? But the last, I don't know, 4 years, we had decided to support our local greenhouse. We had bought things here and there throughout the year, but before that we typically started everything from seed. But it's easier. There's certain things that other people can do, and they can provide a service, and you can support them. And so that's what we do. We uh, we plant some things directly, the things that we want to plant. There's certain seeds that we have that are really old seeds, that have been, given to us. Certain, like tomato seeds and stuff that we have that, in those certain circumstances, we do start from seeds. But things that are like really common, heirloom seeds that can be grown by somebody else, we don't bother to grow those things from seed, and add more to our plate. I'll tell you something that happened though. Something that happened that got us thinking, why are we starting from seed? And if you've watched any of my videos, you've seen my father-in-law. And my father-in-law has been through a lot health-wise. He got severely sick about 3 years ago, and he almost didn't make it. He laid in the hospital bed, severely ill, and almost didn't make it. And in that period of time, he had the garden at the farm. And before that time, we had planted at our home. We have a small garden at our home. I don't know about what size it is, but at that time, we sowed our own seeds primarily, or raised our own seedlings primarily, and started our own seeds. But that year, we neglected our garden so that we could raise his. We got a few things out of our garden, but he was very sick, and at that time we were giving all the time that we had to help them out, to maintain, like we were mowing their yard and and just helping him take care of the things that needed done at the house, keeping his garden alive. Um, and I remember when we were doing it, like we would call him and talk to him, and sometimes he was in really bad shape, and you couldn't even talk to him. And we would FaceTime and tell him that, how beautiful his garden was, and we would try to tell him how big it was growing and how well it was doing, and but at that time our garden was not doing well, and so I don't know, just a couple years ago, just we really sat back and thought about what was important when it came to gardening things, and that was just one thing that we didn't want to have to put on our plates to do. And so the garden that you all commonly see, the garden that is at our homestead, is the garden that we kept alive for my father-in-law, so that they could have their vegetables from their own garden. He was in the hospital for maybe a year. I can't remember exactly how long it was. Nearly a year, close to a year, and he's still recovering from that sickness that he has. He is a full-time dialysis patient, and he is waiting on a kidney. He's on the donor list for a kidney. And so when we plant the garden out there, that garden is not only for us, that garden is also for my father-in-law and my mother-in-law to have. He went from working a full-time job to keeping, his house up, his things up, to not being able to even see the garden that he had grew, much less take care of it. And so when we do a garden out there, it's for them. As much as it is for us, it's for them, so that they can have what they have. My mother-in-law doesn't have as much time to tend to a garden. She does tend to it. I mean, you all see her out there. She her days off, she is out there in the garden and working. And even the days she doesn't have off, she's out there in the garden working. And but he's not able to be out there as much as he would like to. And so that's why. Long story short, that's why we don't plant. That's why we don't start our own seeds. We do on some things, like I said, with the green beans and stuff. We grow heirloom green beans. And you all let me know if you all want to see a video on that, because I've had the idea in my head to talk about heirloom green beans. We have green beans that have a story behind them, that we have a story behind them for us, that we don't even really know the whole story about, that probably some people maybe haven't even heard of. And so if you all are interested, let me know. I see Family Trails has said they are in the green beans. I feel like it got really serious right there and got really quiet, and I feel like all eyes are on me right there. Maybe a little bit uncomfortable. Let me see. I'm missing. Do you start? I love gardening. It's so cool. I grew some flowers a couple years ago from bulbs, so I was nervous about that. You go, Cass. You plant your garden. Let me see. You're all around so much, yeah. So nervous. Yeah, you overcome by the allergy. You mean, yeah. Let me see this, please. No. Oh, I thought you said, do you do heirloom? No, we haven't. We haven't. That's cool that you all do, though. Chili peppers. We like spicy things, so. Awesome. So maybe here soon I can do a video on our heirloom green beans. Some of them I have seed for, some of them I don't, unfortunately. I think, well, I take that back. I think I have seeds for all of the ones that I'm wanting to talk about, but there's some very specific ones that we really like, some specific ones to Appalachia, that probably before the internet people had never even heard about, but that come from here, that come from our area. and I think that it would be really neat to kind of tell people about it. That's awesome. Wow. So you all are gonna have like uh, y'all are gonna have like chili seeds that you can pass on to your grandkids. That would be really cool to say, my grandpa grew these and he perfected them and kept them separated. No crossing for 4 years. And these are the seeds that your son could tell his children about. That would be really cool. Yeah, seriousness. For real, just thinking. I'm glad Ricky's doing better and God helped him to help him there. I had no idea about the green rings, but I'm supporting your channel, so yeah, I'll plan a video on that. Thank you, Chaz. I know you do. I want to see them. I want to see your peppers. That would be really cool to see. See, we grow jalapenos, but I just pick like whatever. Like I said, we just whatever the greenhouse has, and so I haven't. I've got jalapenos and I've got cayenne, um, and so I've never really. We grew. What did we grow last year? We grew. There was a couple. There was a couple peppers that we grew last year that I really liked. We do too. We do too. Hold on, let me see if I can. Here's my cayenne. Except I don't. Oh my goodness, why did I do that? This is my cayenne, and then I hang and dry. Well, I've got peppers right here. I've got jalapenos drying right now. I know, we've got so much in common. And then I've got some drying in the window. I hang mine to dry. And so I have cayenne on this far end. I think it's cayenne. No, it's not cayenne. It's jalapeno peppers. I have them hanging. They hang in the window and dry. And usually they're already really dry. But I haven't got them down yet. I'll probably get them down in the spring out of the window. But yeah, I use this. I use the cayennes a lot. I like a lot of pepper. We cook with a lot of pepper. I think I put back. I think I put back 20 like the gallon freezer bags of peppers this year. Now, some of the freezer bags are not completely full, but like 10 of those are probably completely full. The other ones I chopped up for like easy grabbing. And so they're like halfway. But I've got about 20 bags of peppers that I put back because we eat peppers in almost everything. Or at least, well, yeah, about everything. If I don't use like actual pepper, or like fresh pepper or cut pepper, I use this cayenne or jalapenos. I haven't had any jalapeno seasoning though, so I'm excited to. I've got cayenne and then extra cayenne, which this is hot. Extra cayenne, but jalapenos as well. Let's see. That I open those sinuses. I took a big whiff. Why did I do that? Smelt it. Miriam got a cold. Yeah, that opened me up. It whacked. It felt like it whacked me in the back of the head. My brain. I dehydrate jalapenos. You can't eat them. It's too hot. Oh man, jalapenos are like like a mild pepper to me. I don't even. I've got a higher heat tolerance than my husband does, but these cayennes are like the perfect amount of spice to me. They're a little bit. They're not so hot that I can't stand them, but there's really really hot peppers out there. But like a jalapeno pepper is like, I don't know. I could eat it for a snack. It'd be all right. It'd be okay. Perfectly okay. It'd be like eating just a regular pepper. Let me see. I can't eat them too hot. Some people don't have a very. You have to build your heat tolerance. One of my favorite unhealthy snacks are Flamin' Hot Cheetos. If you've never had Flamin' Hot Cheetos, they're really really good, and so they're my favorite. And I eat those, and my husband's like, "How do you eat those?" Awesome. Chili, very high in vitamin C. Yeah, maybe I could send you some seeds. I have to swap seeds. You got a low heat tolerance, Cassidy? Jalapenos are hot? Oh, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Oh, no. Oh, I love Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I remember in school, growing up, you would have your lunch or whatever, and then if you had money, you could go to like one of their little snacks. It wasn't a snack machine, but it was like they would have snacks that you would pay for. And Grippos. And you go buy the Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and back in the day, the guys would like get a whole bunch, like the boys would grab like a whole bunch and pour them on like a plate of Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and then they would take ranch and dip the Flamin' Hot Cheetos in ranch. And I was a poor kid. I never had money. And so I couldn't get the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. And so once I became not a poor kid and finally got a job, I could buy my own Flamin' Hot Cheetos. And, all fairness to Mom, I never did ask her to get me Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I guess I probably figured she'd not get them, because I grew up in a very health-conscious home. So I didn't ask her. If I said, "Hey, Mom, can I have some extra money for some Flamin' Hot Cheetos?" she might have given it to me, but I never did ask. So, anyways, once I was old enough to buy my own Flamin' Hot Cheetos, I did. And my husband buys them for me all the time. We stop at a gas station and he gets them for me. And I crave them. It's like one of those things that I crave. That's why they're so good today. Yeah, that's what it is. It's because I couldn't have them as a child. It's like you hear like people that aren't like allowed to have chocolate. It's always really good to them. That's one of those things. Is like it was a thing that I couldn't have as a child, and now that I can have it anytime I want as an adult, it's an issue. And I crave them. And I crave them. But we grew up in a really kind of health conscious family, and so we were allowed to have. Once we became teenagers, Mom would probably kill me for telling this story, but once we became teenagers, she would buy a 2-liter of pop on the weekend, and so which we were health conscious for a reason. My dad is a heart patient. He was born with some issues with his heart, and so he has we had legit reason to be health conscious. It affected my father's health, obviously, and so when we got older, Mom would get us a 2-liter of pop or soda. If you're not from this area, soda. It feels weird saying soda, but she would get us a 2-liter of this pop. And were you from Amish background? No, I wasn't. I probably look like it now because I dress real plain, but I'm just Pentecostal. But no, she would buy us a 2-liter pop for the weekend, and so that was one special treat that we got as children, that she would get us that pop. No, but we grew up around Amish primarily in the last I'm gonna say 10 years. A lot of Amish are coming down from more other states, typically like Indiana, the Indiana area of the United States. They come and they're moving in the area, and they're pretty moving in the area where where my husband grew up and where we farm and stuff. I was a town kid. I grew up in town, right smack dab in the middle of town. When I say town, though, we live in a very tiny place. It's bigger than what it used to be, but we live in a very small rural town. Why can't I say rural town? And so no, I didn't grow up Amish, but I am I guess considered pretty plain compared to most. My husband didn't grow up in an Amish background either. He grew up Pentecostal, and so thus us meeting has led to my Pentecostal appearance. I feel like probably people think that maybe I'm Mennonite, Amish or something. Rural. No, why can't we say it, Chaz? It's the accent. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think that's how you spell it. Royal is like royal, like royalty. So it's not royal, it's roll. Roll. I can't say it. Can't say it right. Roll. But I did. But no, I was an old town kid. Grew up in the little tiny town, right in the smack dab middle of it. My roommate took me to her Pentecostal church. I got scared, but got used to it. I've heard a lot of people say that. My wife was too. Your wife was Pentecostal? Is that what you mean? Or grew up in town? Oh, okay. I think you mean in town. No, a townie. I've never heard anybody call it a townie. That's what I was, a little townie. I guess Pentecostals have that effect on people. Pentecostal churches do, I guess. Some people speak of it that way. It was never. I was raised up in church, though. My husband, my dad, is a pastor. He's not Pentecostal though. But when me and my husband got together, I converted, I guess you could say, to how would you say that? Pentecostalism. I don't know. And so that's how that happened. I've got a testimony. Maybe one day I'll share my testimony. She could sing good like you. Well, I appreciate you saying that I can sing good. I appreciate it. You know, I got my singing skills. I hate to even say it like that, because I don't feel like I'm very skilled. But my dad can sing. My dad has a beautiful voice. He can really, really sing, and he always has been. My mom sang as well in church. But when me and my husband first got together, we have a little tiny church. It's mostly made up of family members, and then like family members, and then extended family. Like me, who got brought in, who was married somebody that was family member and went to church there. Chastity knows because we are our our husbands are cousins, and so her husband was raised, around this church as well. It's a family church. It was started by my husband's grandparents, but it's a real small family church is what it is, and they are all very musically inclined. My husband's, my mother-in-law, can sing and play about anything she touches. So my father-in-law is amazing on the guitar. He can sing really well. My brother-in-law literally you can hand him an instrument that he's never played in his life, and he could probably play it and play it very well. And so they're all just really musically inclined. And that goes for the rest of the family. They all, most of them, majority of them, can play very well and sing very well. And so when me and my husband got together, when we started dating, he started taking me to his church. And they would ask me to sing, and I'd be like, no, no, I don't sing. And I really didn't sing. And so, yeah, Cassidy said they all can sing. I love hearing it. I remember Ricky singing "Go Rest High on the Mountain," and it was beautiful. Yes, they all can really sing very well and play instruments very well. That's their family thing. Like they, would just sit and play and sing very often, and still do very often. And so when I got in the family, it was like a musical family, and they would ask me to sing, and I'd be like, no, I don't think I'm going to. And one day, I sang, and I not only sang just like in front of them for the very first time, but I sang in church in front of everybody for the very first time. Probably the first time they had ever heard me sing besides my husband, who had maybe heard me sing just a little bit here and there to the radio. But I sang, and then it just started from there, and I became a singer in the church. And so you sing very well. I like you singing "I'll Take the Road I Know." That's a favorite for a lot of people. Did I do a video on that? "I'll Take the Road I Know"? I think so. That's a favorite of a lot of people that I sing. But I'm not nowhere near the singer that some people are. But you were talking about, her being Pentecostal and singing. Lakey likes singing, yes, she does. She loves to sing. She sings in church as well. Yeah. Yeah, I think I did a video on it, Chas. I don't know. I think it was one of the songs that I did a video on. But yeah. They pretty much what it boils down to is like I married into a musical family. And where I married into a musical family, I inherently started singing in front of everybody. And I sing for the Lord, though. I don't. We're not much into modern music or anything like that. I'm not a big into modern music. I couldn't even tell you the latest modern song to sing, which is completely different than when I was a teenager, because I probably knew all these hits on the radio, but I wouldn't be able to sing without the Lord, and so when I sing for Him. And I think that's a lot. You were talking about your friend who was Pentecostal. I think that a lot of people that decide when they sing that they're going to sing for the Lord, and I think the Lord blesses that. Yeah, I like the fiddle. Bacon, can you let Ollie out, please? He's barking to go potty. I've been on here for a while, and he is barking to go out. But I think a lot of times that what I was saying is, in a Pentecostal church, that a lot of the women can sing very well, and a lot of the men can sing very well. She wouldn't admit it.
I read all we have in it, so we'll think about the little wife.
I think too, it's the culture around Pentecostal music. There's something about it. It's just different. It's a different. It's a different. Like you were talking about being scared when you went to a Pentecostal church. A lot of people say that it's a different type of. It's a different type of worship. It's a different way to praise the Lord, and it talks about the Bible about it, praising the Lord with music. David wrote a lot of songs and psalms praising the Lord, and when you think about David, David is very relatable in the Bible to his troubles and trials then are very relatable to troubles and trials we have now, and he praised the Lord, and he worshiped the Lord in song and music, and I think that a lot of that is reflected in Pentecostal churches, in churches in general. I was raised not Pentecostal. I was raised Protestant, but there was music, and they were singing. And so that's reflective in a lot of churches nowadays, but Pentecostal especially, music and very very outward. We praise in a very outward manner. Some praise in a very inward manner. Pentecostals in general, Pentecostal churches that I've been to, praise in a very outward manner. Very how do I want to say it? Very enthusiastically outward. And so everybody has their every church is different and in different ways, and that's just one thing about a Pentecostal church is it's just I think that it scares people, or that people get a little bit set back by it because it's not common practice in like your everyday church. Like if I went down church down the road, probably, if I went down the road and come upon 10 churches and I went to all 10 of those churches, it's going to be different. Every church you're going to go to is going to be a little bit different, and so but they're going to be a little bit different, but a lot of them are going to be a lot more quiet. And so I went to Catholic church 12 years. That's why shock. Yeah, I can see that. I can see why that would be a shock. I've actually never been. I've been in a Catholic church. I've never in Catholic school. I've never sat in like a Catholic church service. I've been in Baptist churches and Protestant. That was how I was raised, was Protestant. I don't know, different the kinds. But boring. Catholic school or Catholic church? I wouldn't say a church service, a Pentecostal church service would be boring. You need to get in church more then. If that was the last time you went. Yeah. That way, get Marshall in church. If you take them to church while they're young, they love it. They learn to love church. Lakin looks forward to church, and she gets sad when we don't go to church. She's looking at me like, don't tell people that, but she does. She looks forward to it. And so, taking them to church is a good thing. I don't know what your beliefs are, and I don't try to push my beliefs on nobody, but it is a good thing.
No, I opened that door and I couldn't even get the frame door to open.
You got a hair. Hey, it was in her bubble gum. She had her hair in her bubble gum. Will you close that door? Yeah, that's a good way to put it. She said, church tells you about the Bible, Pentecostal church does the Bible. That's an excellent way to put it, actually. It's not a big thing here anymore. The young people coming up are just not interested in religion. Yeah, I agree with you there. There's one thing about religion, though. I was talking about it the other day, I think on a live, when it comes to skills. I think it was a live that I was on the porch, and I think both of you all were there. There's one thing about it, is things that the modern day has coming up, the generations coming up through modern time has decided are unimportant, we're getting back to. We're finding that they are important, and it's the same thing with church. It's the same thing with the Lord. There's going to come a time for every single one of us that we need the Lord. And whether it's people in the modern world think it's important or not, it's very, 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 very important that in this life we have something and someone to depend on. And that person that I depend on, the person that meets my every single need, is the Lord. But there's one thing about it. There's one thing about the Lord that you have to decide that you need Him. If you don't decide that you need Him for yourself, yeah, Chastity says it's the most important thing that there ever could be. You have to decide within yourself, within your heart, that you need Him. You have to wake up every day realizing and knowing that He's what woke you up that morning, and He's what provides your need, your every need. He's the thing that breathed air into your lungs this morning, and woke you up, and provides everything you have. If you have a job, He provides that job, or a type of income, He provides that type of income. He's provided the house and the roof above your head. But you have to decide that for yourself. And I think in modern times, people have decided that they've done it for themselves. That they're who put the air in their body, and they're who put the roof over their head, and they're the ones that's making the money. And when it comes right down to it, it's nothing that we do. It's everything that He does. And so you have to be willing to set aside. To set aside yourself, and to look deeper into where your help actually comes from, where your strength actually comes from, where your breath actually comes from, where the things that you have actually come from. And so I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Lord knows I don't, and I wouldn't want to say anything to offend anybody or hurt anybody. But we got talking about Pentecostals and church, and and things like that, and that's something that's very important to us in our household. And so, anyways, if you feel the need to be in church, if you feel like that's something that you are ready for, then I encourage you to, out of the, what'd you say, we had like 100 churches within a 10-mile stretch. Most are torn down now. If you feel the need to take your family to church, if you want to take your family to church, then you should. Out of those hundreds that you had and a bunch that have tore down, pick one, and pick one that's still standing, and take you and your family to it. No one else can to this is what some told me when he. Let me see, I missed your. Funny that people in prison find the Lord. Yeah, because I was just talking about like setting yourself aside, realizing that that the Lord is what gives you everything, and you're talking about being in in prison and finding the Lord, and I believe that when you truly realize like I said, what gives you everything, what puts the air in your body, and when you finally realize that, and a lot of times it's when you hit rock bottom. I know when I got saved, I was at rock bottom. I know when my husband got saved, he was at rock bottom. Cassidy could tell you her testimony. She was at rock bottom when she got saved, and I feel like sometimes we have to hit that rock bottom in order to realize, wow, look at a mess that I got myself into, but what's such a big God and Savior that we serve, that that He can fix it, that He can turn it around, and that's the amazing thing about our Lord, that He can turn things around, and He can change something bad into good. Yeah, that's what Cassidy was saying. Yeah, that's the thing about it, is when you get down, when you get down low, you realize that that's the only help is the Lord. Everybody I know that got saved had to hit rock bottom, had to realize. I should say, everybody that I've had this conversation with had to come to the realization that the only way that they were going to get out of it was with the help of the Lord. We all got our struggles, our trials, tribulations. Always are there. Even once you get saved, life isn't perfect. But the thing about it is I've found that in those moments when life isn't going the way I want it to, and when life isn't perfect, and when I've hit those low spots, that I have a friend that I can depend on. I have a friend that's going to make it right. That's going to turn things around, and give me another side. Another side of it. You hear all the time, there's two sides to every story. Well, there is two sides to every story. You can live your life. You can live your life this one way, and go through dips and trials and tribulations, and continue to keep going down and keep going down and keep going down and keep going down, and have those low spots. or you can go through life, hit the low spot, climb back up with the help of the Lord, hit a low spot, climb back up with the help of the Lord, hit a low spot, climb back up with the help of the Lord. A lot of times if you hit those low spots in life, you stay low in life. You stay in those depressing states and those bad places for so long because you can't, physically you're not able, mentally you're not able, emotionally you're not able to pull yourself out of it. But if you hit those low spots, if you hit those depressing spots, if you get where you need, if you get in a spot where you need help, the great thing about the Lord, the great thing about God giving us Jesus is He gave us Jesus so that we had someone to hold our hand, that we had somebody to go through those low spots with. You have your spouse, you have your children, you have people that you love, you have family that you love, but your family can only help you so much. But the Lord can help you in ways that your family can't help you. The Lord can take you through things that your family can't take you through. There's millions of people that you could talk to and ask, and there's people that I know personally, that I have a personal relationship with, that have went through addiction, drug addiction, and you can talk to those people, and you can even separate those two people. You can separate those two people into, or that one person, into two different people, and say, they were a drug addict, they went to rehab, they tried to get off drugs, they got out of rehab, they went straight back to drugs. Or you can talk to that same person who went to rehab, tried to get off drugs, couldn't get off drugs, finally decided they were going to get off drugs, prayed, got saved, got a connection and a relationship with the Lord, and are still sober. They're not on drugs. They didn't go back to them. And that's the difference. That's the difference between living life now. You can choose one way or you can choose the other way. Yeah, we all have choices. We all have choices. And I don't say that to downgrade anybody. I really honestly don't. I don't want to talk about anybody in any bad way. I don't want to put anybody down that's struggling with addiction. If you're struggling with addiction, then turn to the Lord. He's your help. And we as Christians, people that follow the Lord, people that choose to serve the Lord, it's our job to tell those people that are in those ruts and those struggles that there is a way out. And I'm telling you all on a live video, I'm saying it as loud as I can, that there is a way out. You can choose a way out. Like you said, life is full of choices. We all have choices. Life is full of choices. And sometimes we have to make big decisions. We have to make big choices that can determine which way our lives go. Cassidy said it's sad that sometimes people are too late and do not choose to turn to God for help. He's the only help there is that will ever make a difference. Yeah. My dad. Yeah. I hope that you can. I hope that your dad found peace. I hope that. I hope he can find peace if he's still living. I hope that he found peace. If he's not, I hope that he made it to heaven. Man, we've had some serious conversations on this live. Cassidy said, I'm nothing. I'm glad he led me to turn to Him and then back to Him when I turned away. He's been merciful and graceful to me. God's so good. Yes, He really is. He really is. That's why a lot of times when y'all hear me talk about stuff, I start crying when I talk about God, because the amount of thankfulness that I have in my heart. That's wonderful. I'm glad. That's wonderful. It's great. See, I'm crying. There's mercy for all of us. He stretches His hands out to everybody. We just have to. When He stretches His hand out, we have to stretch ours out. And accept Him. He accepts us. When we come to Him, a lot of times we're broken hearted and have broken spirits and need uplifting and encouragement and love and peace in our lives, and He takes us as those people that need all of those things. And then He picks us up. He gives us the strength we need to overcome those things, to overcome sin, to rise from death to life. He made that decision for us, so that we could make it to heaven, so we can see our family, and so we can see Jesus, so we can be with our Lord and Savior in heaven. Well, guys, we've been on here 116 minutes. Been on here quite some time, and I appreciate all the conversations we've had, and I thank God for you all, and He taught me there's nothing good that I could ever do to obtain Him. He just showed me what grace was. Yeah. I appreciate you all. I really do. I appreciate you all. You all are such big supports, and I'm so glad you all come, and we've had some deep conversations today. This went a really different way than maybe what some would expect, but I thank God for it. I'm glad that we got to talk about the Lord today. I know He is pleased when we get to spread word about Him and get to talk about Him, and I'm thankful for Him. I'm thankful for the Lord. I'm thankful for you all and the support you all show. And guys, I want to before we get off this live, I do want to talk to y'all about something. We had talked about it in the beginning. Family Trails mentioned it as well. I'm close to 1,000 subscribers, but here's where we're at. So I'm needing to meet my 4,000 watch hours. And as of now, I'm almost to 3,000. I'm a couple hundred off from being 3,000. I said almost to 3,000. I'm a couple hundred off from being 3,000. And so today is Sunday, and I didn't go to church, so this conversation gives me brownie points. Yeah, well, we didn't make it to church either, where she's been sick. And so yeah, it was good. It was good talking about the Lord today. And I'm thankful for it. But we're in the crunch hour of getting our watch hours, and so I know you all have helped, and you're still helping. But if you would please just give us some likes and shares on our videos, that way that it can get pushed forward. The videos can get pushed forward. I've got till the 25th or 24th of January to meet my watch hours in 365 days, and I don't think right now, the way we're going, I don't know if I'll meet 4,000. And so that's where we're at. If I don't, then we'll just have to accept it and move on and continue to, press forward and see what we can do from there. But like I said, I'm really close to my 1,000, but I'm about I'm a little less than 2,000 off from getting my watch hours last time I checked. So I know you all supported and helped me, and I really even hate to ask, but if you all would please just continue to watch the videos and like and share. Share them to people you think that'll like them, and we'll see if we can get my watch hours up. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today, and this has been a wonderful live, and hopefully we got people thinking about some things, and I know it got me thinking about some things, and so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You all are such big help. I appreciate it, and I hope that I didn't miss any comments. They were popping up. I probably missed a few, but I thank you all for hanging out, and I hope that we can see you on the next one. Been working on it, trying to run videos at night on the playlist. Cassidy's been trying to help me big. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.